Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm DarkHour717, and as we all know, the 3.17 patch has recently been released to the Evocati. While there are many things that we expect with this, we do know not everything will be added onto the main patch. A number of items will be held for completion to be released later with patch 3.17.1. Before we get started with this though, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Help me out with that YouTube algorithm. It really gets the videos recommended to more people out there, and I really appreciate it, as I'm working hard to hit that 5,000 subscriber mark. Also stick around to the end of the video where you can find out how to get entered into the giveaway for a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. Patch 3.17 did release to the Evocati though for testing on Friday night. This is great news as we all wait patiently after a fun but somewhat lackluster 3.16 patch. We of course did have an amazing time with all the events such as Xenothreat, Jumptown, and Ninetales of course, but anticipation for some of the newer features slated for 3.17 has some chomping at the bits. With what we have seen in sneak peeks through Inside Star Citizen and Star Citizen Live, there are some really great additions coming. As I mentioned though, not all of these will make it in with the main patch release, and not all are immediately released in the first Evocati build either. But I will go over what we can confirm as far as the patch notes in this first release. Easy anti-cheat update and a reshade update have been implemented, in which the easy anti-cheat was updated for more Linux support. Though still not officially supported, they are looking for feedback from Linux users in regards to their experience. And on the reshade front, they've updated to the latest version of 5.0.2, and this will actually make the previous versions unsupported. And this is because only one version can be green lighted at a time. With 3.17, according to the patch notes, a networking update has also been implemented that will hopefully reduce ship-to-ship desync. Of course, results are still pending as this is just going into testing, but they give the feeling that the positions of other players are more accurate in regard to your current position and closer to real time. So really, again, just initial testing and hoping to get that feedback from Evocati on any potential issues. I think it is safe to say that we have all experienced this at some time, and it is nice to know that they're actually making real efforts to address the concern to improve the quality of the gameplay. And even if initial testing does not make it ready for this patch, it is comforting to know that they are working hard toward a resolution. Other items that are confirmed for this release are Lorville Maria Pure of Heart Hospital, the River Cortec with the first river out on Microtech, and we saw that highlighted on Inside Star Citizen. Of course, we got our mining gadgets and player injury updates, and also DNA head textures. Out on Lorville, the hospital is up and running, and as we saw in Inside Star Citizen, it really has a unique feel that screams Hurston to it. And as with all hospitals, this will have the availability for all your medical needs through its pharmacy. Along with Maria Pure of Heart, the individual variations to the outer medical clinics that are on stations has also been updated with new modules and layouts to create a more unique feel to each. As mentioned, Microtech does have its first river with harvestables situated all around it and is being tested at this time. I really think this is going to end up being a popular spot when first getting into the patch in Wave 1, to be able to see firsthand the amazing work that went into creating the rivers and the flowing waters, and to be able to witness the shimmering lighting effects that the sunlight creates shining off of it. That and swimming. Probably a lot of swimming. And you know a lot of people will have to test the fact to see if you really have to keep your helmet on underwater. So the real question is, how many bodies are we going to really find floating downstream? Of course, we're also seeing the much hated and misunderstood coffee shop that's now out on Area 18 and can actually serve a variety of drinks to players. So time for everybody to get your latte on. All kidding aside though, this actually will serve a bigger purpose other than just serving drinks as they test new AI advancements with this vendor. Mining gadgets have been confirmed in this release as well, and this is probably one of the biggest items that we here at Amarok's Fang have been waiting for. Delayed originally from its release with 3.16, they are now present in this release. As we have seen these highlighted on Inside Star Citizen, these will be a game changer in many ways, especially for the owners of the Prospector and the abilities it will provide for breaking down larger rocks. Available with many effects similar to the modules that we have now, these will add on to what we are already capable of doing. With an inventory slot on the backpack, you'll be able to exit your vehicle, place these on the rock of interest, and can adjust it for the right resonance and benefit from the effects that it creates. Default keybind to utilize these is set for the number 4, much like the med gun or the multi-tool, and after use, if you did not destroy it, you're going to be able to pick these up and recover and reuse these gadgets again. Currently, they are available at New Babbage, Lorville, and Port Olisar, and of course, these will introduce an inherent risk due to the need to leave the safety of your ship to place them on the rock and also retrieve them after completion. This is going to leave you vulnerable to the elements as well as attack. You also have to be aware of overcharging the rock, as if you do so, it can easily destroy the gadget as well. On the location front, it shows a number of changes, starting with ground vehicle signature emissions, and this is really going to make your ground vehicle more difficult to detect at longer ranges. Also listed are changes to the player injury system, making it less likely for insta-death, but injuries more likely to occur through repeated combat encounters. And the one thing I will say is the biggest quality of life change in the verse is we are now able to have a keybind that will allow to call for ATC landings with a single push. This is actually long overdue, and currently default is that it's unbound with no default. So if this moves on into wave 1 and final release, make sure to remember to go into your bindings and set that key for your one-touch calling for landing. I'm actually overjoyed on this one. To be able to just hit a button on my hostess to request landing and not have to go through the MFDs or the Mobiglass is a huge improvement for everyone. And one last location-based change is all LEOs, or low orbit stations, will now be separated from their local landing zone's inventory, meaning the inventory that is at Everest Harbor will now be separate from what's at Lorville. That means no more close flybys of the station to grab something you purchased and left down on the planet's surface. Now you'll actually have to fly down all the way to the planet and park in the city to be able to grab anything that you forgot. Now, as far as what known issues we have in this release, in this initial build, the starfares and refueling are incomplete and not testable. This does not indicate that it's not working, just that testing has not begun or is ready to begin yet, and could be a focus of a later updated Evocati patch. Reported also is equipping items into the inventory slots are having severe delays or failing to equip at all, and some purchases at kiosks are not registering correctly. Also, if you drop modules on the ground, it can result in not being able to pick those back up. And if you spawn into an area with a high volume of inventory, it can also take up to 2 minutes before you can equip any items. We're also seeing that the Mist Prospector HUD is still having issues with its brightness controls, and reading the HUD is still remaining to be difficult. On top of that, filters for knickknacks are not functioning, and they're still seeing duplicated elevators causing havoc throughout the verse. And of course, we still have ships that are exploding after exiting, and asteroids are continuing to appear as unscannable when you're out mining. They're also seeing that repair areas are not respawning weapons after a repair, and the refueling cost per SCU is extremely high and much higher than what it should be. Now, with these known issues, with the exception of the refueling cost, they're all things that we see in the current live environment, and not overly surprised to see that they're still present here in the Evocati release. All of them have several issue council reports filed from the current environment, and I'm sure these are all still being sorted out, and that's why I'm not surprised they carried over into this build. And finally, this brings us to the bug fixes, or hopefully bug fixes, as we all know they can end up on the bug fix list and then unexpectedly start acting up again. That's just the nature of game development though. We do see repair and restock listed though. Even with the weapons repair issue above, this is likely going to pertain to the availability to select the repair, refuel, restock option. Also listed are fixes with the issue of ships storing in an unknown state out at outposts, as well as items on landing pads will now clear themselves so they are not in the way of incoming ships. We see bug fixes for the star map and setting routes, as well as the quantum drive properly engaging, and the Valkyrie ramp will no longer clip into the surface, causing it to bounce. Also listed are accessing your Mobiglass when carrying a package is no longer going to attach that crate to your hip, and oxypens are also replenishing as they should. And a couple of last items that they have listed as fixes is they fixed the issue with getting kicked out of the game when in a down state waiting to be revived, as well as multiple locations having been fixed to keep players from getting stuck behind crates in the derelicts. Really, this is just a portion of what is listed and some of the biggest bugs noted as fixed, but all great improvements if they hold for sure. Overall, the release of 3.17 to Evocati is a great thing to see. As we know, as testing continues, more items and features will be added in for further testing. My expectations are, of course, that we're going to see the whole A in this release, and I would guess that it's going to likely be 3.17.1 patch before we see the RSI Scorpius get implemented. There are certainly plenty of other rumors swirling around of things that we may see, though no confirmation can be found, so I'm not going to comment on those. But hopefully we will see the PTU go to Wave 1 in a couple weeks, depending on the progress of testing with the Evocati. We all know from experience that there is no set in stone timeline on when things move from Evocati to Wave 1, so we're going to be keeping our eye out for any major changes and make sure we bring that info to you as soon as we can. I hope you enjoyed this update on the recent Evocati release of 3.17, and I right alongside you will be anxiously awaiting Wave 1 PTU. Don't forget though to get your entries in for the March giveaway for YouTube. It's going to be a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. Just subscribe to the channel and add a comment to any video on here to get entered in. You can also check out the Twitch channel where I stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and can get entered into our Twitch exclusive giveaway. This month it's a Thrustmaster T16000 HOTUS. Just follow over there on Twitch and you'll be automatically entered. And if you are thinking of getting into Star Citizen, use the referral code that's in the description to get an extra 5,000 AUEC to get started in the game. And if you'd like to support the channel, check out the merch store or Patreon. I greatly appreciate the support, and it's how we are able to do the giveaways to give back to the viewers in the community. Or you can always hit that join button above to get a membership for as low as 99 cents per month. I want to say thank you again to everybody out there for all of the support that you guys give. Everybody be safe, and we will catch you next time.